Hello everyone, it's Shane Kanto, your Wasteland reviewer, and I'm here to review The Killer's Game, and this is a new action thriller from director J.J. Perry, based off of the novel by J. Bonasigna, and this is starring Dave Bautista as Joe Flood, the most dangerous assassin in the world, who winds up getting a horrible life-threatening diagnosis, puts a hit out on himself so his partner, played by Sofia Boutella, can get life insurance, and surprise, surprise, wrong charts, he was fine, and now all these hitmen and assassins are coming after him. And this is such an interesting idea, and they really lean into how campy and crazy over the top this can be with, these flashy kind of like comic book entrances for these characters and like building them up to just be cannon fodder and get destroyed in 2 seconds by Dave Bautista. But it's one of those kinds of things where, in theory, this has a lot of style and has a lot of personality, but I feel like Perry's execution of a lot of this is really clunky, especially from like a directing standpoint. There's awkward editing at times. It just feels like you had this idea in your head and just the execution just wasn't there, and it doesn't feel as fresh and fun as it could be. And the story overall turns out to be surprisingly, well, maybe not surprisingly, but pretty thin. It just gets really repetitive. It's the same thing over and over and over again. Look, big new hitman, assassin, getting this big build-up. Boom, Batista bomb, boom, out of here. On to the next one. And it gets really repetitive in that way. And sure, Dave Bautista is extremely charismatic in this. He's really fun. I enjoy his his quips and stuff like that. And honestly, his dynamic with Sofia Boutella, it works mostly. You can feel the connection there, and that bit of romance works. And you have really talented people, from Pom Klementif to Scott Adkins. Love seeing Scott Adkins and things. Ben Kingsley, Terry Crews, and even WWE superstar Drew McIntyre as big burly Scottish assassin. And there's a lot of fun to be had in that kind of aspect. But I don't know, from other stunt people, stunt coordinators turned directors, I feel like the action was better in a lot of those. This does go for that big, bloody, R-rated kind of bloodfest kind of violence. And there's still some really cool moments. It just, not much story to this, and personality and flair could only go so much. I feel like this is trying to live in a world where John Wick exists. And it feels like the less well-executed version of that, because Chad Stahelski has turned it into an art, I feel like, of creating this John Wick type action, big world-building kind of film. And this just kind of feels like a cheap ripoff. And it's from Lionsgate, too, so, they're like, we need more of this. And I feel like this is the kind of film that you could just sit with some friends and realize it's not great, but have a fun time watching it. And everybody's going in there, charismatic, trying to have a good time. And it's big, it's dumb, it's not good, but it's fun, and it can be fun. It's just, I feel like sitting in a theater by yourself, focusing and watching this movie, it just drags after a while and gets so repetitive after a while. So, for once, I'm suggesting don't watch theater, and at some point you could have a fun time with your friends watching this and just how ridiculous it can be. It's just not a well put together movie, and feels like a shadow of a lot of other action films that are trying to be made today. But those are my thoughts on The Killer's Game. Let me know what you think, and let's talk some movies. But thank you as always for tuning in and supporting your Wasteland reviewer.